Have you ever thought to yourself, maybe it's time to take your finger off the rewind button? Hey friends, it's Pastor Mike from Fellowship Church. Always enjoy connecting with you midweek. I sure hope you're enjoying this lovely spring weather. It looks like it could be around for a little bit longer. Sure feels good to see the sun again. That question for you, again, have you ever thought to yourself, maybe it's time to take your finger off the rewind button? Well, friends, my guess is that most of you own televisions and perhaps some other electronic devices, so you all have experience with something like this. It's called a remote control. Believe it or not, when I was a kid, we didn't have remote controls. We had to change the television the old-fashioned way. We had to get up and turn the channel, ka-chunk, 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 and that was so much work. Sometimes we just watched the same channel for hours because nobody wanted to get up. But today, you'd be hard-pressed to find a television or other electronic device that doesn't have a remote control. Remote controls work off infrared light. It allows you to be some distance away from an electronic device of almost any kind and simply push buttons on the remote control and the device changes. It's a wonder of modern technology. If you've used a remote control with a television or maybe some other viewing type device, you may be familiar with the rewind button. The rewind button allows you to go back and watch something that you've already watched before. Maybe you like a scene out of a movie or something, you push the rewind button and you can go back and watch that scene again and again and again. Have you ever stopped to think that perhaps you have a rewind button somewhere in your heart as well? A rewind button that allows you to replay a scene again and again and again. And maybe that scene is a painful scene, something that was done to you or said about you, some hurt that still exists way down in here. And every now and then you push the rewind button and just keep replaying it. The Bible has a word for that. It's found in Hebrews chapter 12. I've been reading Hebrews a bit lately, talked about it last week. Here's another one for you. The book of Hebrews says, "See to it that no one misses the grace of God, and that no bitter root grows up among you." We'll talk about the word root next week, but that idea that see to it, no one misses the grace of God and allows a bitter root to grow up. I bet you've heard of that emotion before. It's the emotion called bitterness. Bitterness is a feeling that you have. It is an emotion, a very strong emotion, that comes from reliving a hurt again and again and again. Bitterness comes from a lack of forgiveness. Talking about that in a couple of weeks at Fellowship. Forgiveness is the ability to release a debt or release a burden from some past hurt. But if you choose not to release that burden, at some point in time, a root of bitterness grows up in here, and that root of bitterness causes grace to be pushed away at a distance. If you want to know what it looks like in person or in a story form, just go reread the story of the prodigal son, the young son who runs away, the older son who refuses to accept the young son when he comes home and instead complains to his father, "You're always too good to him." Friends, we call that bitterness. It's the inability to let grace move in. It's a refusal to forgive a sin. It's an unwillingness to release that debt inside of yourself. Bitterness, friends, when it sets its root in deep, boy, it's hard to eradicate from your life. The only way to get rid of it is to stop pushing the rewind button. Stop replaying that same hurt again and again and again, which then allows grace to be applied, and grace, when applied, allows forgiveness to take place, and bitterness cannot coexist with forgiveness. So friends, have you ever had a time in your life when you had to put down the remote control and stop pushing the rewind button? If you've got any bitterness in your life right now, it's time to put the remote down. Friends, I hope that makes sense to you. It does make sense to me, that's for sure. I hope you can apply that to your life. I'll work on it too. Hope you're loving these beautiful spring days. Hope that weather continues. It'll be summer in no time. Look forward to talking to you again soon. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.